Hello, we are Sornia. We have such a desire to assist you on your journey in this human experience that you're having. I've had my human experiences. I was asked to speak to you because I've had such a variety of experiences, like those of you who get these messages have had a variety of experiences in the earthly realm, all by choice. And we here as Sornia feel that the more you are able to understand what your human experience is, what you are in control of, in a sense, you're really in control of everything and of nothing, right? That paradox. Being in the present moment in the flow is what you're doing. But the more that you are able to be aware of who you are essentially for eternity, who you have been and who you will always be as eternal beings, and what was the motivation for entering the earthly realm, and where might you be going? These things are important to you. You have expressed this to us. What's the purpose behind things? We've been getting that quite a bit. Even though you know the big picture here, of late, many of you have been observant with a calmness to it, but observant of your reality. Well, let's not use the word reality, of your environment, of what you are experiencing in the earthly situation or that earthly environment. You've been aware of how it feels different for you. You've been expressing that. What we've also are very happy to relay to you, this isn't just individuals, but the majority of you are also experiencing yourselves differently in the earth experience. And you're also experiencing and understanding your own individual and unique role as a divine being having a human experience. And you're expanding on it, expounding on it, and really being beacons of hope and inspiration for many. And what also we are noticing, and you probably have too, those of you who have been aware, is how this group here is, we don't want to say you're fearless, but pretty close. You have recognized fear for what it is. You share what you observe and what you understand and what you know, because this is a knowing, this isn't just an idea, what you know about fear. And what is so interesting for us is how others are receiving these messages. You've probably noticed this, that your ideas or your communications with others are being received by the average person with greater openness, greater receptivity. Hopefully you are noticing this. If not, we want you to pay attention to this over when we're done, after you've heard these messages, because it's actually quite impressive the degree to which humanity is waking up. And that's what we want to share here with you, is the incredible openings that are happening to the consciousness awareness. As we have told you before, you are already that which you think you need to be. You are already that eternal being who is compassionate and loving and kind and gracious and all those wonderful qualities that You think you need to learn through difficult lessons to become that, right? But you are already that. And you are also being aware of that very difference in perception, right? So your abilities to perceive yourselves in the light of truth is really how we have to say it, because it is truth. You are experiencing, that's not perceiving. So let's say that differently. You are experiencing yourselves in the light of the truth of who you really are, but with human elements. So many of you have been sharing your personal experiences when we come together, in the astral plane, or when you are in a sleep state. And we've noticed this, and we want very much that you are made aware of it if you aren't already. So if you're feeling this difference or not, it's there. Okay, it's there. We're seeing it. The majority of you who receive these messages, if not all, we're just being safe here by saying the majority, are experiencing yourselves as eternal beings having a human experience. What does that mean? How do we know that? What are we doing? Because we see how, well, it's what you share with us, number one, but we're also here to observe you and have that ability to comment and give you feedback. And that is what we are seeing. To use your language, we don't really have eyes, but with our own eyes, but with our own energy, right? We are perceiving that. This is incredible. This is the beginning of the really profound changes that are going to be, well, they're already in motion, okay? They're already in motion, and everything is going to, well, everything. Oh, we must be careful with the language that we use. But things that are on your earthly radar, let's put it that way, because each of you has different earthly experiences. What you are perceiving from that perspective of that eternal being having a human experience, with that awareness of having the human experience, that perception that you are having at that time is altering the reality, we'll use that here, or your environment or your earthly experience. It's altering it. It's changing it. So we've talked about this. And we've given you this as advice. We've told you how what you perceive and what you focus on becomes a reality, in a sense. It becomes your experience, right? And you have all taken this to heart and have made the choice to understand how that works. And you have all looked at this, changed the way you perceive your experiences, which has changed the outcome of experiences. What does that mean? Well, number one, the trajectory that Earth was on with all of humanity is definitely shifted. It's in a different path. You're in a much more aligned path of what you call the Ascension, the higher vibrational paths. Absolutely. What you are doing also is teaching others through your own behavior and through your own energy system. You are showing others, and they are receiving this. Not everyone, of course, because you know that, but more people are receiving this information because of you changing how you perceive things. Hopefully this all makes sense. When we're speaking with abstract ideas, they can be hard to put into words because these are abstract concepts or ideas, right? But the change is there. It's profound. And the energy of it is one of incredible joy, because we believe what is happening to the different individuals that are opening themselves up to this greater awareness of who they are is that they are becoming, each individual themselves are like, your light is changing, your energy that you emit is changing. And when it meets with energy that is denser or darker, that doesn't align, right? It doesn't just swoop past it and go and align with higher vibrational energy. What it does is it penetrates, it's been penetrating through, because of your direction of this, penetrating through the darkness. So an example, what we mean, you have an altercation with somebody or something happens, you observe something. Let's do it as the observer. You are at a gas station and you stop and go get something from inside the gas station, and you see two individuals maybe having an altercation or a disagreement, because there's a lot of that still on your planet, and you're observing it. And as you're observing it, rather than judging it as, oh, that person is wrong, that one is right, or look at these people, oh, they're such idiots, or any of that, you've been observing it from the heart space, just observing it without the judgment. You observe it, and then you wait for what your soul will say to you. That infinite divine essence of you says, this is what you want to project into that energy, into that field. And what you are doing, say in this situation where you see two people in disagreement over something that doesn't matter, really, is you are putting light into the darkness, as you say, but it is more than that, because that energy that we are seeing that you are using is the one of compassion. We have been seeing this worldwide, the shift from all about me and what I need to what can I do for another? How can I live my life in service to all of humanity, to all of the creatures on this planet? It's absolutely incredible what has occurred in the recent times. We had to come forward with this. We don't have a lesson, in a sense, for you today. We're here just this time to give you feedback from what we are observing and encouraging you to be aware and to continue doing this, because, again, your observations in any situation is not done absent-mindedly. So many of you are so present in your physical forms, but present with the awareness of who you really are, right? So you are observing things from that perspective as an eternal being, and that perspective is of the highest order that you are able to give at this time, right? Because there's still density and all of that you're working with, the things within yourselves. But you are able to penetrate the density of this darkness that has gripped and stolen the hearts of so many on your planet. Can you stop just for one moment right now and feel that awareness of what you are doing, what you have done? Think back to the last few weeks of your life. How have you positively impacted your environment, your earthly environment? I bet if you begin to do this every day, you'll become giddy with joy at how much you are affecting the world that you live in. It's really quite amazing. And each of you is doing it in your own way, in the way that you know how. Let's not even talk about how you are all speaking your truth. Speaking your truth is vitally important for this transition to happen. And you're holding it. You're holding that space of truth. We see it. We see it. It's remarkable, really. So as I said, we're not here today so much to share what's going on. It's pretty much going on the way that it should. We're here to really stress this shift of awareness and how it has reflected in such a positive way in your earthly experience. And that was the ultimate goal. So please continue to be aware of this. Share these things with others. It's incredible to see the transformation in certain individuals who were maybe angry or depressed or lost and find the truth within themselves and turn themselves around without external influences. They do it themselves. You have all done it yourself. You transform your own experience through the awareness, through the understanding, taking the time to nurture yourselves in ways that are fulfilling, that will not just fulfilling in the sense of feel good, that are fulfilling, that you go deep within this experience that you are having within your physical form with that emotional body. We've talked about the emotional body so many times. That emotional body is just transforming, and the emotional body of Earth, yes, Earth has an emotional body, is transforming. Your connection from Earth and all of humanity is increasing. See, this is the other thing that you maybe aren't aware of, but that we are seeing. The oneness, right? The oneness. That oneness is energy, really. It's a form of energy. We see it as the connection that all of humanity has with everything, with plants, with animals, with every single thing that exists, that carries life force on your planet, and its connections that you have with it. You aren't central to that. Everything is central. Again, humans have this idea that somehow they are central to everything. And we've spoken to you about this. No, you aren't. You are part of. And you know that. So that leaf on the tree has as much life force in it as you do. You may get upset hearing that, or some people will, but it does. Everything is imbued with the divine. Everything. So going back to our point here, that all of that is an energy form, oneness. Think of oneness. The word oneness is all energy. And it has expanded is the best word that we can use. And it's fluid. It's increasing and reaching more. And your connection to the divine, God, source, creator, that which is in you, that is eternal, that connection has grown. So more is permeating into your reality on earth. What does all this mean? That everything that you have done has had value, has had meaning, has had an impact. Continue doing this. You have all benefited from it. We see it. The joy, the ability to pause throughout your day and appreciate yourselves and appreciate life and appreciate the little things, you call them, the little things, which are actually the most incredibly big things, if you will. But your ability to do that has grown and it's touching the lives of others. And nature is responding to it. Everything in nature. Look at how all the creatures are beginning to be a different awareness from them. You have so many individuals interacting with other creatures like they've never done before. What does that mean? Take some time to ponder this, and you will know, not just by our words, but you'll know within you that interaction that you had with, say, the wild fox, or the bird that flew over, or the squirrel, or the crow. We love our crows, don't we? All of that interaction has become more apparent. You've been able to notice it. You take the time to notice it. And nature has responded in kind. Prepare yourselves for more of this. Be ready. And again, along with this comes when we say prepare yourselves for anything by continually just being open, receptive to everything that is. And you'll see that. That's the bottom line here. You are open, you are receptive, and you are allowing. Yeah, you have your times. Everybody does. We're saying the greater force now within all of you, which is having this impact on the rest of the world. And there are other areas in the world that are just like you, is moving this incredible existence into its rightful place. You are freeing yourselves from entrapment, because when you discover and you live from that place, you are no longer in fear. You are no longer intimidated or worried. You trust because you know. And this is something that has to be done by the individual to find that. To find that connection, to find that essence within yourselves and be the expression of that. You still have things you'll be doing. You still have a ways to go to manage the emotional body. That will be going on for some time yet. Again, some of you are farther along than others. Some of you have, just so you know, you might feel stepped back, but you stepped back in order to assist others. So if things have been a little bit heavier for some of you, and you're going, wait a minute, I'm not feeling that, it's because you chose to step back a little bit in order to assist others. We don't want to say carry the load, because you can't carry the load for someone else, but you can assist them. And some of you may feel like maybe you're not really experiencing what we've shared here with you today, but that's for that reason, because you step back in order to be of assistance, which is very valuable for this entire earthly experience that you are freeing yourselves from. Earth will continue to exist. There will always be darkness. There will always be what you call evil or all of that, because that's just there. Everything exists, has a purpose, reason, but you're freeing yourselves from the control that is had over you and the beauty that you will experience in this lifetime and wherever else you go beyond this lifetime. Now you'll be free to go wherever you want to go, wherever your soul's desire is to go. You won't find yourself caught up in reincarnation. You will choose, you'll be aware of the choice of coming back into the earthly realm or not. You may not see it as something that will be valuable, or you may see it for whatever reasons, but you'll be fully aware of it, which will not keep, when you do re-enter, you will not be entangled and entrapped. It'll be a different experience. You'll begin to see that probably in your lifetimes, that souls that are coming back, so they're choosing to come back and fully aware of it. As children, they will be very aware, very advanced, not as controlled by the earthly experience as you've had to endure. You'll see it, and some of you are preparing your own physical forms to allow these souls to enter this earthly realm. Well, we got a little sidetracked here with that information, but just know that everything is beautiful. We feel really happy sharing this with you today. This brings us even more joy. Yeah, so not a lesson here, not anything we need to share with you that will require you to be doing homework, so to speak. We just wanted to give you this little bit of a feedback and pat yourselves on the back for job well done. And keep going, because you've got to be feeling better. You've got to be feeling better in spite of what may seem like turmoil around you. We know you are. We know you are. All right. It was really a pleasure to be here. I am honored that you would take the time to listen, share this information with whomever you feel would benefit. Know that you are loved. Well, we think you know that. You do know that. Okay. And yes, we feel your love also. Some of you have asked, do you feel our love? Yes, we do feel your love quite deeply. Okay. That is all for now. We love you very much. We are Sornia. Goodbye.